Hi everyone, Jesse here with Etrailer. Today we'll be taking a look at, and I'll show you how to install the TowSmart custom fit trailer hitch receiver on our 2022 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. Adding a hitch to a Wrangler makes a ton of sense. These are adventure vehicles, you're going to be taking them out. It's always nice to be able to add some extra storage space onto the back, which a hitch allows you to do. With this hitch, you can add on accessories such as a bike rack or a cargo carrier, and you can even do some light duty towing with it. Here's a closer look at our hitch installed on our neighbor's Jeep. The hitch itself has no cross tubes. It actually mounts directly to the bumper. So all you'll really see is the receiver opening. And that receiver opening is your standard 2" by 2". And that'll fit most of your accessories or whatever you're looking to add on. Behind that, we have another standard 5/8" pinhole. The pin and clip are not included with the hitch. However, we have many options available here at Etrailer. And also any accessory that you add on will most likely come with one included. Then below the receiver here, we have a nice sturdy safety cable loop set up. Very easy to access with whatever style safety cable you have, whether it be this S or even this large clip. Now for some measurements, with our ground clearance, the Jeep sits up pretty high, so we're gonna be at 19 3/4. That's plenty of room there. And then from the center of our pinhole to, I'll say, the edge of the spare tire here, since the Jeeps do have the spare tire mounted, is about 8 inches. So that's one thing with these Jeeps that you'll want to keep in mind is since the spare tire sticks out, you may need an extension or just look for accessories that will come out farther, especially those folding ones. As for our weight capacities with this hitch, we have a gross trailer weight of 3,500 pounds. That's the amount of weight that you can pull behind the vehicle. And then we have a maximum tongue weight of 350 pounds. That's the amount of weight pushing down on the hitch. You do have the option to use weight distribution with this hitch. Those numbers will bump up to 4,000 pounds gross trailer weight and 400 pounds tongue weight. And always be sure to double check your Jeep's owner's manual to ensure your Wrangler can handle that weight safely. If you're looking for a hitch for your Wrangler, you really can't go wrong with the TowSmart option. The installation with this hitch is a very simple process. It's just a matter of getting up under there, removing a couple bolts, and then installing all of your hardware. If that's not something that you're looking to do yourself, maybe you just don't have the time, the space, or the tools to do so, feel free to check out our dealer locator. If you have installed this yourself and you want to share some tips or tricks, or maybe you just want to share some photos of what you're using your hitch for, please feel free to leave a review or a comment. But otherwise, let's get into the installation and I'll show you how it goes on. We'll begin our installation underneath the vehicle. We'll have to sneak around the back of our bumper here. Depending on your setup, you may have 2 bolts like I do, or you may just have holes. So since we do have the 2 bolts, I'll get those removed. They're both 18 millimeters. You may want to use a breaker bar to break them loose first, but then grab a wrench to get them all the way off. Take them both off, and then we can talk about our hardware. So once we have the hitch open to position with those 2 bolts that we removed, we're just going to reinstall those. But there's 2 inner holes, and that's where we will slide our new bolts in with a flat washer, and then we'll cap it off with a conical tooth washer and a nut on the outside. Make sure those teeth are facing the hitch. And another thing to mention is our hitch will be sliding up in between our bumper and this little sleeve here, or this bracket here. So I just recommend having something to wedge it, that way we can get our hitch into place. Right. So now we'll lift our hitch into place. As I said, we got to work it in between the bumper and that bracket. And then we'll get one of our middle bolts slid through just because they're easier to line up, and that will hold our hitch into place. Once you have those middle bolts slid through, as I said earlier, we'll install our conical tooth washer. It is a pretty tight space up there, but if you just hold the nut and then spin the bolt, you should be able to get it started. So we'll tighten down our new hardware with a 19 millimeter wrench and socket. And we can tighten down the factory bolts just with that 19 millimeter again. I'll take a torque wrench and make sure all of our hardware is torqued down to the specification in the instructions. Once we have everything torqued down, that's going to do it for our look at and installation of the TowSmart custom fit trailer hitch receiver on our 2022 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited.